In this video, I'm going to show you how you can create a database using MS Access. Alright, so to start off, you are going to click on the Start menu here and just type in Access. Alright, click on the Access icon that shows up here. Just click on it and it opens up here. Now these are the templates, but let's go ahead and click on Blank Database. Alright, and here you're going to give the name, and I'm going to give this name student information. Alright, this is the folder you click on to choose a location to save this file. So I'm going to click on this and say desktop. Alright, and it's going to be saved on the desktop. The file name is student information. Click OK. Alright, now it shows the path that the database file will be saved. Alright, so just click create, and that's what shows up here. Now you have the tabs here. From time to time we'll be using some of these tabs. Now right now we have oh, by the way, you can see that the ribbon is not showing, so you can click any of these tabs and click on this pin button and it pins the ribbon there, and you can be able to see the tools here within the ribbon section. Alright, so now this is the place we call the navigation pane. Alright, and this is the document area. Now, as we have mentioned in class, we have four main objects: the table, the form, query, and a report. And the other two, which are quite advanced, macros and modules. Alright, so let's go ahead and start creating our first table. Alright, we'll call this a student table. Alright, so I'm going to click on this tab here, table 1, right click on it and click on design view. Click on it and you are asked to give a name, so I'm going to type student T. Alright, you know why I'm typing student T, I've already discussed the way I name my objects. Alright, without the space. Alright, so click OK, and now the table is open in design view. Now this is the view button at the top left hand corner, and also at the bottom right hand corner here you can see the view buttons as well. Alright, so in the design view, the table, we already given our first field name, which is ID, and you can see this key field here. Alright, it's showing us that this first field name showing here is the primary key. Alright, and the data type is auto number. Alright, but we're going to do some changes here. Change this ID to student ID. Give a descriptive name. Right, so it's a student ID. And what is this section for? Well, it says description, so we can actually add type in some description about the field name we are entering it here. So in this case, I'm just going to say primary key. All right, primary key of the student table. All right, what is our next or our second field name? We will say first name. Right, again, no spaces when you're entering the fields. Right, and then this is going to be short text. All right, that's fine. If you want to type in something, description, you can do that, but I'm going to just leave it blank and move on to typing the third field name, which is going to be last name. Again, short text, that's fine. The next one is gender. What data type? Okay, short name. Just one thing that I'm forgetting is you can specify the field size down here. So the first name, I'm specifying the field size to, let's say, 15. Alright, the last name as well to 15, and maybe gender will be just 1. Now you already know why we specify the field size. We are specifying the number of characters that this field can hold. Alright, the next one is date of birth, DOB, that's fine, and the data type is going to be date and time. If you click on this drop down area, you will see so many other fields, rather the data types. All right, now what if we say these are students, so they are going to, I mean, they're supposed to pay some fees, so we will just say fee paid. Now the data type will be, okay, we have some options here, either number or currency. For now I'm just going to say number. Okay, And I think that's about it. All right, otherwise if you want a phone contact, or you can say just phone, that's still okay. And phone is what? A number. All right, we know that phone is a number. All right, but when you choose a number, large number or whatever, all right, apart from short text, those numbers, those fields that you are specifying the data type to be number, you know that you will use those numbers to do some calculations in future. All right, but in this case, for a phone number, we don't need to do any calculation with this phone numbers. So even if you just leave it as short text, it's still fine. All right, because we won't use those numbers to do any calculation. All right, so we'll leave it as short text, and the field size, let's say 10. Okay, so that's basically that. Now we can click on save. All right, and that's it. Our table is now being created. Now you can double click to open it in a datasheet view, and that's where you can enter some details. I'm just going to type in Joe Blow in here, gender M, date of birth. Alright, I'm just going to say this. Fee amount paid, I'm just going to say 1000. Phone number 7234567. Okay, so that's that. Maybe the second person, I'll just say Mary Tom, female, date of birth 2005, and how much she has paid 2000. The phone could be this. Alright, and you can add some more later, but for now we can leave it as that. Alright, I'll come back and I'll show you how to create the next object with this form. Thank you.